Um, what I think will happen, and we're seeing it unfortunately across Coles and Woolies and Metcash across the country, is there's a lot more social trouble. We saw the toilet paper fights. We've seen
Yep.
people panic buying. Unfortunately, we've got to the point where there's security guards throughout our supermarkets across Australia, and shoplifting and persons of interest or banned shoppers are going to
Yep.
increase.
Yep.
So one of the things that we do with facial recognition here, one of the tools we use is a brief cam algorithm. So this video shows it's a convenience store. Essentially, the algorithm runs over the top of the existing CCTV footage. It takes all the objects from that person came at 7:28, that person came at 7:13. And so the idea of it is, I'll see if I can move these. You might have had a report that we had a shoplifter in a particular area. Right? So they had a hat and they had a bag. So when I'm doing that, I narrow it down from the 231 objects or people in this footage down to there was 2 that fit that criteria. So there's this person and these people. And that person came at 8:36. So if we just watch the video, girl's picking up the wine, slipping it in a bag, and off she goes. Now, I can then say,
incredible.
That person, I want to see the original footage. So I can then go back to the original CCTV, because you might have 100 cameras in store, and I go back and do the search and say, here's the person coming in, here's the time, and you can see now we're back to the original footage. The algorithm's tracking that customer through the store. So for shoplifting or evidence for police, or if you've got, as a deterrent, there they go there.
Gee whiz.
So that's an example of some of the artificial intelligence that we're helping retailers. So you can plan, you can count
scary
customers.
And incredible.
Look, it is. I think, but as you start to think around your obligations of how many customers are coming into your venue, we now have fines of $100,000 if you let more people into a venue than the government's required.
Yeah, 100.
How do you know you're meeting that? If you've got consistent troublemakers in a store that you've barred, how can your security team police it when you've got 100,000 people coming in a week, a day, whatever it is? Whereas now you've already got the CCTV footage, you're just not putting necessarily the smarts in to help you manage that efficiently. And like I said, being able to go, we've got 230 objects, which are people in this case. And I now know that it's this person with a hat and they had a bag at this time, let me find it. Or set alerts that anytime that person walks into the store, send me an alert to say they're back in my store so I can go and watch them physically. You can do that. Yeah. So
that's really cool.
Stop there.
Wow. But we've taken up enough of your time, and I appreciate so much this insights that you're giving me. I've just got one question for you, if we could just, and then I'll let you go, because like I said before, your insight into, not about the virus, because I'm not talking about that at all, but your insight into businesses adopting some of this technology that you're talking about, because it's not just retail, it's any type of business.
Yeah.
So what's your insight so far?
I think, unfortunately, not enough small businesses to some of the colleagues in consumer goods and retail, and they're still way too far behind. They haven't properly adopted digital transformation. They've got parts of it in, and we're in a post-digital age. Everything we do runs digitally. The biggest crisis at the moment is the Wi-Fi running fast enough, or is the NBN releasing enough capacity? If that's not a hint to every single business owner that every customer is searching online, they're going to Facebook, they're going to Instagram and Google, and if you're not there, it's like shutting your store. Unfortunately, in the current environment, a number of stores have been shut. So it doesn't mean that you have to continue to operate that way. You can innovate. You can go online. Lots of businesses. I mean, the world's biggest in Amazon, they operate digitally. So, if there wasn't any big alarm bells ringing, going, there's a great example of
and
the
digital's
ability
going to change so many industries, force change, force efficiency through. Look at taxis as an example. It's just, here's an industry, and in your consumer goods marketing, you would have done this. We can see an opportunity in the marketplace. Here's a gap. Here's a gap that we can get into and own and change it. Disruption and all these words that we're using today.
And I think it's just being alert to those opportunities over the next 2 months. So as people settle down, and they will, in a month's time, it'll become the routine. You'll have, I work from home. The kids are doing remote learning. This is how I do my shopping once a week. And being able to manage that in a new environment. So, and be prepared. So being able to capitalize on those digital channels and the assets that are there, because you can connect to your local customers. And if you can't, if you're not skilled, we can help you. We can help manage that marketing for you. And then, it's just being able to go, stand back from it. How do I operate in a non-physical world? Because I can still operate if I can. If I can get to there and get proficient quickly, I can still make money. And if I've done things like cutting costs or do my GMROI analysis, then I might have some money to be able to come out of this crisis in a much stronger position.
Well, hopefully this is what is going to happen. That's why I'm so excited about it. I don't see it as a terrible. Yes, some people will suffer, but equally, if you were inefficient, I remember a CEO I once had, Andrew Wright, you say, if you're a BD, a big dumb company, a BDC, you're going to struggle. But if you're lean and mobile and able to take advantage, I've been asking everybody that I speak to right now to be observant of opportunities, because when we're focused on doing our work, filling the shelves or building a structure, whatever it might be, wherever we focus, we often don't notice the opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we all know it. We all hear the let's stop and work on the business instead of working in the business. But if you're honest, how often does anyone do that? If you might be in a situation either where you should be doing it now, or you're being forced to do it because you're having to isolate. Great opportunity. Take it as a gift. Take it as an opportunity to work on the business, not in it, and
work some of this stuff out. Yeah,
it's there. The strategies are there. The opportunities will come out in the next couple of months.
I can't thank you enough for your time today, Scott. I'm sure if someone wants to talk to you, they can contact me and I'll pass on your details, or you put your company logos up there anyway. And let's not be ashamed of selling. We're in the business to sell.
Absolutely.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the oldest, or is that the other profession that's the oldest? But it's the most honourable one. Anyway, I'm not sure what that is. Scott Wilson, thank you for your time today. I'm sure we ran over time, but some of those lessons that you gave us were gold. Thanks very much, mate.
Talk again. Cheers.